The champagne glass shattered against the marble floor. I said no. Sophia Chin stood in the center of the grand ballroom, her wedding dress torn at the hem, mascara streaking down her cheeks. 200 guests stared in frozen silence. Her groom, Marcus Ashford, billionaire, philanthropist, the man every woman in Manhattan wanted, stood at the altar, his face pale with shock. "Sophia, please." He reached for her. "Don't." She stepped back, her voice breaking. "Don't you dare touch me. Not after what you've done." She grabbed the hem of her dress and ran, past the gilded chairs, past the orchestra, past her sobbing mother and stone-faced father, out into the rain. What she didn't know was that running from this wedding would pull her into something far more dangerous than a broken engagement. This is a story of how Sophia Chun went from runaway bride to the woman who brought an empire to its knees. Sophia had always known her marriage to Marcus wasn't about love. It was about saving her father's company. Chun Technologies was bleeding money. Her father, Richard Chun, had made bad investments and trusted the wrong partners. The company that had been in their family for 3 generations was weeks away from bankruptcy. Then Marcus Ashford appeared like a white knight. Handsome, powerful, worth $3 billion at age 35. The deal was simple: marriage in exchange for a merger that would save Chin Technologies. Her father would keep his legacy. Her mother would keep their penthouse on Fifth Avenue. And Sophia? Sophia would keep her family from falling apart. "It's not so bad," her best friend Maya said as they sat in Sophia's apartment, surrounded by wedding magazines. "Marcus is gorgeous. Rich. Some women would kill for this arrangement." Sophia forced a smile. "Yeah, some women." But late that night, alone in her apartment, Sophia stood on her balcony overlooking the city and let herself feel the truth. She was 28 years old, and she was selling herself to save her father's mistakes. Her phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. "Dinner tomorrow. My place. 8 p.m. We need to discuss the prenup." No emoji. No warmth. Just business. She typed back, "I'll be there." What she didn't type was the question screaming in her head. What kind of marriage starts with a prenuptial agreement that reads like a corporate contract? Marcus's penthouse was everything Sophia expected. Floor-to-ceiling windows, modern art worth millions, and furniture that looked uncomfortable but cost more than most people's cars. Marcus sat across from her at a glass dining table, his lawyer beside him. A stack of papers sat between them. "It's standard," the lawyer said, sliding the document toward her. "In the event of divorce within the first 5 years, you receive nothing. After 5 years, you receive $2 million per year of marriage. Infidelity on your part voids all claims." Sophia's hands trembled as she flipped through the pages. "And if you're unfaithful?" Marcus didn't even look up from his phone. "That won't happen." "But if it does?" "It won't." The lawyer cleared his throat. "Mr. Ashford has included a fidelity clause that protects both parties, but the financial penalties are weighted in his favor." Sophia felt something crack inside her chest. "Weighted? It's fair given the circumstances," Marcus said, finally meeting her eyes. His expression was cold and businesslike. "Your father gets his bailout. You get financial security. Everyone wins." "Everyone except me," she whispered. "Sign it, Sophia. We have a wedding in 3 days." She picked up the pen. Her hand hovered over the signature line. Then her phone rang. She almost didn't answer, but something made her look at the screen. A known number. "Excuse me," she said, standing and walking toward the windows. "Hello." The voice on the other end was female, young, scared. "Is this Sophia Chen?" The woman marrying Marcus Ashford. Sophia's blood went cold. "Who is this?" "My name is Elena. I was Marcus's girlfriend until 3 months ago. I just saw the engagement announcement. I need to meet with you. Tonight. Please. There are things you need to know before you marry him." The line went dead. Sophia stood frozen, staring at her reflection in the window. Behind her, Marcus was laughing at something his lawyer said. She turned slowly. "I need to use the restroom." In the bathroom, she stared at herself in the mirror. Her hands were shaking. She pulled out her phone and texted the unknown number. Where and when? The response was immediate. Café Noir, East Village. 1 hour. Come alone. Café Noir was dimly lit, tucked away on a side street most tourists never found. Sophia sat in a corner booth, her heart hammering. Elena walked in 20 minutes late. She was beautiful, blonde, elegant, nervous. She slid into the booth and immediately started talking. I don't have much time. If Marcus finds out I contacted you, she stopped, swallowing hard. I was with him for 2 years. He told me we'd get married. Then your father's company started failing, and suddenly I was getting strange texts. Being followed. Followed? Marcus wanted me gone. Quietly. He offered me money to disappear. When I refused, things got scary. My apartment was broken into. Nothing stolen, just moved around. A message. Then I got a job offer in Singapore. Too good to refuse. I took it. Sophia felt sick. Why are you telling me this? Elena pulled out her phone and slid it across the table. On the screen was a photo of Marcus with another woman. Dark hair, expensive clothes, laughing at some charity gala. That's Veronica Laurent. She's been his mistress for 5 years. She's married to a French diplomat. Their arrangement is complicated, but it's ongoing. Sophia stared at the photo. You're lying. I wish I was. Elena pulled up more photos. Marcus and Veronica at restaurants, getting into cars. One photo showed them entering a hotel. The dates were all recent. Some were from last week. He's marrying you for your father's company, Elena said quietly. The merger gives him access to your father's Chinese manufacturing contacts. He's been trying to break into that market for years. You're not a bride, Sophia. You're a business acquisition. Sophia's vision blurred. She pushed the phone back across the table and stood up. Where are you going? Elena asked. I don't know. Away. Anywhere. She stumbled out of the cafe into the cold night air. Her phone rang. Marcus calling. She let it ring. Then her father called. Then her mother. She turned her phone off and walked for hours through the city until she found herself at Maya's apartment at 2 a.m. Maya opened the door in pajamas, took one look at Sophia's face, and pulled her inside. Tell me everything, Maya said. So Sophia did. The next morning, Sophia went to Marcus's office. She walked past his assistant, ignored the protests, and threw open the door to his corner office. Marcus looked up from his desk, annoyed. Sophia, I'm in a meeting. Get out, she told the 2 men sitting across from him. Excuse me? Marcus stood. I said get out. Her voice was steel. The men looked at Marcus, who nodded curtly. They left. The door clicked shut. Who is Veronica Laurent? Marcus's expression didn't change, but something flickered in his eyes. A business associate. Try again. Sophia, I don't know what you think. She threw her phone on his desk. Elena's photos were still on the screen. Marcus picked up the phone, scrolled through the images, then set it down carefully. When he looked up, his mask had slipped. What replaced it was something cold and calculating. Who sent you these? Does it matter? It matters because someone is interfering with our arrangement. Our arrangement? Sophia laughed, hollow and bitter. Is that what you call it? What did you expect? Love. He said the word like it was ridiculous. You knew what this was. A business deal. Your father gets his company. You get my name and my money. I get... What? What do you get, Marcus? His jaw tightened. Access. Connections. A respectable wife to parade at galas while I actually live my life. The words hit like physical blows. So it's true. All of it. Elena should have stayed in Singapore, he said quietly. I paid her well to disappear. You paid her? Sophia couldn't breathe. You threatened her, followed her, terrorized her into leaving the country. I removed an obstacle, just like I'll remove whoever gave you those photos. He stepped closer. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to walk out of here. You're going to go to your final dress fitting. And in 2 days, you're going to marry me with a smile on your face. No, no, he laughed. Sophia, Sweetheart, your father signed a contract. If this wedding doesn't happen, I pull my funding immediately. Chun Technologies goes bankrupt by next Friday. Your father loses everything. Your mother loses everything. Your family's legacy gone. You can't. I can, and I will, unless you walk down that aisle. He picked up her phone and held it out. So what's it going to be? Your pride or your family? Sophia took the phone with shaking hands. She walked out of his office, feeling like she was underwater. Sophia sat in her car in the parking garage for an hour before she could move. Then her phone rang. Unknown number again. Hello? Miss Chun, my name is Detective Sarah Morrison. I'm with Financial Crimes. I believe we have a mutual interest in Marcus Ashford. Sophia's heart stopped. How did you get this number? Elena Torres filed a report about her harassment before leaving the country. Your name came up. I've been investigating Ashford for 2 years. He's involved in things that go far beyond infidelity and prenups. What things? Money laundering, corporate espionage, blackmail. He uses his marriages and relationships to access companies, strip their assets, then moves on. You're not his first strategic engagement. Sophia felt dizzy. What? His first wife died in a car accident 3 years ago. Very convenient accident. Her family's shipping company was absorbed into his holdings within 6 months. His second engagement fell through when the woman disappeared. I believe he paid her to vanish, like Elena. Why are you telling me this? Because you're my best chance at getting evidence. Marry him. Get close to his files. Find me proof of his criminal activities. Help me put him away. You want me to spy on him? I want you to help me stop him from destroying more lives. Sophia closed her eyes. And if I say no, then you'll be wife number 2. And in a few years, when he's bled your father's company dry, either be paid off to disappear or, well, car accident happen. The detective's words hung in the air. If I do this, Sophia said slowly, can you protect my family? If you get me evidence, I can freeze his assets and protect everyone he's ever threatened. How long do I have? The wedding is in 2 days. After you're married, you'll have access to his home office. I need files, bank records, communication with his business partners. Can you do it? Sophia thought about her father, her mother, Elena, the unknown woman before her. Yes, she whispered. I can do it. The wedding day arrived like a slow-motion nightmare. Sophia stood in the bridal suite, Maya helping her into the dress. The designer gown was exquisite, hand-beaded, worth $50,000. It felt like a costume. You don't have to do this, Maya whispered. Yes, I do. Detective Morrison had given her a plan. Get through the ceremony. Survive the reception. On the wedding night. Access Marcus's home office while he was distracted. Copy everything. Simple. Terrifying. Necessary. The music started. Sophia walked down the aisle on her father's arm. He was crying. He thought he'd save his company. He had no idea what monster he'd sold his daughter to. Marcus stood at the altar in a perfect tuxedo, his smile perfectly calibrated for the cameras. 200 guests watched like this was a fairy tale. The officiant began, "Dearly beloved." Sophia's heart was a drum in her chest. Do you, Marcus Ashford, take Sophia Chun to be your lawfully wedded wife? I do. Smooth, confident. And do you, Sophia Chun, take Marcus Ashford? Sophia opened her mouth to say, I do. But what came out was, I need to speak with my fiancé. Privately. Right now. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Marcus's smile never wavered, but his eyes went arctic. Sophia. Now, Marcus. They stepped into the vestibule. The door closed behind them. What the hell are you doing? Marcus hissed. Sophia pulled out her phone and played a recording. Detective Morrison's voice filled a small space. Money laundering. Corporate espionage. His first wife died in a car accident. Marcus's face drained of color. I'm wearing a wire, Sophia said quietly. Police are outside. You have one chance. Call off the wedding. Release my father's company from your contract. Disappear. or I walk back out there and tell everyone exactly who you are. You wouldn't. Try me? They stared at each other. Years of manipulation and calculation versus one woman's desperate courage. Then Marcus smiled. Really smiled. It was terrifying. You think you've won? He pulled out his phone and showed her a photo. It was Maya leaving her apartment that morning. Call off this wedding, and your best friend has a very unfortunate accident. Detective Morrison gets evidence of you colluding with me in money laundering. Yes, I can fabricate that easily. Your father goes to prison. And you? You'll spend the rest of your life knowing everyone you love suffered because you couldn't play your part. Sophia felt the world tilt. So here's what happens, Marcus continued. We go back out there. You say I do, and we'll discuss your betrayal on our honeymoon. He opened the door. The guests were murmuring, confused. Sophia stood frozen. Then she thought about Elena running to Singapore, the first wife dead in her car, all the women before her who'd been too scared to fight back. She thought about her father's face, so hopeful as he walked her down the aisle, and she thought no more. Sophia walked back into the ballroom, but instead of going to the altar, she walked to the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, her voice echoed through the space. Thank you for coming today to witness what was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Marcus moved toward her. She held up a hand. But I can't marry Marcus Ashford. Not because I don't love him. I never loved him. This was a business arrangement. My father's company for my hand in marriage. Her father stood up. Sophia, stop. Dad, I'm sorry, but everyone needs to know the truth about who Marcus really is. She pulled out her phone and connected it to the venue screen system. Elena's photos appeared, 20 feet tall. Marcus has been having an affair throughout our entire engagement. But that's not the worst part. She pulled up more documents. Detective Morrison had sent them that morning. Marcus Ashford is under investigation for money laundering, corporate espionage, and blackmail. His first wife, Caroline, died 3 years ago in what was ruled an accident, but the detective investigating her death believes it was murder. The room erupted. Marcus rushed the stage, but hotel security, Detective Morrison's team, intercepted him. You're insane, Marcus shouted. These are lies, fabrications. Then explain these bank transfers, Sophia said, displaying more documents. Offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands, payments to known criminals, emails discussing asset stripping and corporate takeovers. Detective Morrison walked down the aisle, badge out. Marcus Ashford, you're under arrest for money laundering, fraud, and conspiracy. 2 officers moved to handcuff him. Marcus fought them off, his perfect composure finally shattering. You stupid girl. You have no idea what you've done. I'll destroy you. I'll destroy everyone you love. No, Sophia said quietly. You won't, because I recorded this entire conversation, including your threats against Maya and my father. It's over, Marcus. As they dragged him away, still screaming threats, Sophia stood alone on the stage in her ruined wedding dress, facing 200 shocked guests. Her mother was crying. Her father looked devastated. Maya was fighting through the crowd toward her. And Sophia, for the first time in months, she could breathe. The sun was setting over the East River as Sophia stood on her new apartment balcony. It was smaller than her old place. Cheaper, but it was hers. Chun Technologies had survived, barely. Her father had found new investors, honest ones this time. The company was rebuilding, slowly but steadily. Sophia had started her own consulting firm, helping other women escape coercive business arrangements and predatory contracts. The work was hard but fulfilling. Her phone rang. Detective Morrison. The trial set for next month, the detective said. Are you ready to testify? Yes. Good. Because of your evidence, we've connected Marcus to 4 other cases. Women who disappeared or died under suspicious circumstances. You saved lives, Sophia. After they hung up, Sophia poured herself wine and watched the city lights flicker on. Maya arrived an hour later with takeout. So, Maya said, sprawling on the couch, how does it feel, being the woman who took down Manhattan's most eligible bachelor? Sophia laughed. Exhausting. Terrifying. Necessary. Any regrets? Sophia thought about that moment in the ballroom, when she'd walked to the microphone instead of the altar, when she'd chosen truth over safety. No, she said. No regrets. Her phone buzzed. An email from a woman she'd never met. I saw your story in the news. I'm in a similar situation. Can you help me? Sophia read the message twice, then typed back. Yes. Tell me everything. Because that was her life now. Helping women find the courage she'd almost lost. Being the voice that said, you don't have to accept this. You can run. You can fight. You can survive. 1 year later, Sophia stood in a courtroom as the judge read the verdict. On the charge of first-degree murder in the death of Caroline Ashford, we find the defendant, Marcus Ashford, guilty. The courtroom erupted. Sophia closed her eyes. Outside, reporters swarmed. Sophia pushed through them to where her father waited. I'm proud of you, he said, tears in his eyes. I should have protected you. Instead, you protected all of us. We protect each other, Sophia said. That's what family does. That evening, Sophia returned to her apartment and found an envelope under her door. No return address. Inside was a single card with 2 words. Thank you. It was signed by Elena from Singapore. Sophia pinned it to her bulletin board next to cards from 12 other women she'd helped escape dangerous situations. Her phone rang. Another woman in trouble. Sophia answered. Tell me everything. We'll figure this out together. Because she'd learned something that day in the ballroom when she shattered her champagne glass and said no. Sometimes the only way to save yourself is to be brave enough to break everything. And sometimes from the broken pieces, you build something stronger.